Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Vina Destriana, as the leader from the Athhar Students Group. And today, our group will present the English language teachers forum meeting with the theme Developing Student Motivation for Using English Language in the Classroom. And to take advantage of the time, we start our meeting today. To Devi, please.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom. Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya. Good afternoon, everyone. And beforehand, let me check your attendance first. First, we have Mr. Mario Soemawinata from SMIN 1 Tasikmalaya. Is you here? Okay. We have Vina Destriana from SMIN 2 Tasikmalaya. Okay, all right. And Ms. Salsa Febriadi from SMIN 3 Tasikmalaya. Okay. Ms. Pricillia Febrianty from SMIN 4 Tasikmalaya. Last, Mr. Athhar Zakiyyan Qinthara from SMIN 5 Tasikmalaya. Okay. Mr. Farhan Adhitya from SMIN 6 Tasikmalaya. Okay, and the last is Mr. Donny Adriansyah from SMIN 7 Tasikmalaya. Okay. All right, everyone, thank you for all the representatives for coming to our meeting today. And today's topic is about how to develop student motivation for using English language in English classroom. And for the next session, will be led by Mr. Rais. Please, Mr. Rais, the time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya. Good morning, all of you, honorable teacher. Beforehand, I would like to thank all of you for taking the time of day to attend our discussion today. As you already heard from my secretary, Mrs. Devi, our topic today will be about how to develop student motivation for using English language in the English classroom. Now, from what I read on a lot of local news article and from my own personal experience as an English teacher, a lot of Indonesian students don't use a lot of L2 or second language for social conversation. Even they can speak English sentence at all when they already in senior high school. This issue really concerned me as an English teacher because in today's society, English has become international language for us to use. This issue can restrict our student development and teacher. So today I would like to hear your opinion about this issue. Okay, without further ado, let's start our discussion.
I think our students need more attention from us, teachers, especially the students who cannot even speak English one bit. These kind of students need constant guidance and affection, encourage them to speak English more, and don't belittle them when they make mistakes.
Yeah, I also agree with Mrs. Pricillia here because despite today's curriculum that told us to let the students read themselves, how could the students study for themselves if they cannot even speak English correctly? As a teacher, we need to consult them constantly about the material, make a good pedagogy, and suggest them for a private intensive learning in English language.
Yes, I agree with both of you. As a teacher, it is our duty to teach our students.
But I'm so sorry. With all due respect, I completely disagree here. Because our student doesn't need to be spoon-fed about the material, especially senior high school. I think They already can they already can think for themselves, and then so I think let them to study among themselves. We as a teacher just need to present the material and then make them to study together with each other. Teenager doesn't like an authoritative figure that they prefer to study with someone their own age. Yeah, that's I think.
Yes, I agree with you, Mrs. Vina. Students can learn to on their own.
Yeah, right. I don't you teach him anything at all, Mr. Finn.
Huh? How dare you say that? What makes you think I don't teach him anything?
Well, then how can your school didn't even send a single representative for L2 appreciation contest? You know that my school win all the categories for the contest, right?
Oh my god. Don't be foolish, Mr. Pricillia. That is not because of you, that's because of good parenting from your student parents. My daughter may be not so good in English, but she got an excellent grade on all her other exam, not like you. Your son who always make a reason.
Hey, okay, that's enough. Both of you, you are teacher for God's sake, so be respectable and don't derail discussion. Now, I would like to hear what Mr. Donny has to say. So please, Mr. Donny, continue our discussion.
Well, I personally agree with Miss Vina's argument that students can study on their own, but you can't just give them the material and expect them to have good grades. Students still need our guidance. I would instead suggest to make the study activity fun for them. Do a pop quiz once in a while with platforms such as Quizzes, Kahoot, Quizlet, and etc. Give them prize and prizes if one of them get the highest score so other students can also be motivated to do well.
Yeah, I agree with Mr. Donny approach on how to make the studying activity more fun for the students. I personally do a movie day once in a while where they would watch movies like Harry Potter, Marvel, and Disney together with an English subtitles. So they can learn how to pronounce the sentences that are in the movies.
I agree with Mr. Mario here. Consuming Western in media had become a trend with students these days. Let them learn through the media that they like to consume so they can be invested personally to learn the language that the media use to tell its stories.
Yes, I agree with the three of you. Students need some fun.
Sorry, Mr. Athhar, but can you please stop agreeing with everyone?
Well, I can help it. Everyone in this discussion have a great argument. So I can help but to agree with everyone here.
I do agree to some of the argument that had been told previously, but I'm concerned about what Mr. Farhan said about consuming media. I am afraid that the students end up learning nothing from the media that they consume. The purpose of media is to entertain, not to educate. My son had addiction to Japanese media. He even believes he's supposed to be born as Japanese. He always refuses to study, saying it's a waste of time, and told me go do a seppuku instead. What is seppuku anyway?
Yeah, it is concerning for a lot of us as a teacher to use Western media as a tool to help us teach English and motivate students to learn English because I'm afraid of the bad values and uh, inappropriate schemes will be seen as the example or the norm to the
If using media to increase students' motivation to use second language is good, what kind of media that is suitable for it?
I think movie or song are suitable for increasing students' motivation to use L2 in classroom. It is because teenagers mostly like to learn about what they like.
But as we know, in Western movies or songs, there are so many harsh words or explicit words that shouldn't be known by teenagers and children because they are not wise enough to know using bad words.
Then we should choose movies that suitable to be watched by students or choose movies with educational theme.
Actually, even though we choose or recommend the movies or song for the students, they can still access everything what they want to listen or watch. So how can we restrict our students to access bad contents that available on media?
In classroom, that is our responsibility to restrict students to not access bad contents that available in media. But outside classroom, it is not our responsibility. It is their parents' responsibility. But at least we try to reduce the bad possibility.
Okay, I agree with Mr. Mario. But there are a lot of ways to increase students' motivation besides the media, such as make the class communicative, make English practical, and the others.
I'm sorry. But sometimes it's hard to make the class communicative. The student don't pay attention to the teacher, or even they are just ignoring the teacher.
Yeah, of course, because you never try to communicate with your students. You just give them tasks and then you leave the class.
I'm sorry, Mr. Pricillia. Don't judge me like that. If you don't know anything about me, you never know how I'm teaching. You were never in my class.
I'm sorry, but can you stop bringing your personal problem between both of you because we are in discussion here, Mr. Pricillia and Mrs. Springer.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry,
Okay,
everyone.
sorry everyone.
Look, this is the second time we held this discussion. If you do this again, you will not be invited to this discussion. Do you understand?
Yes, Mr. Rais. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Well, I think we have to find a balance between these two elements to work if we want to increase students' interest in using second language. I think we have to make a fun environment for students to learn, but also put basic rules and guidance for them to follow. What do you think, Mr.
Okay.
Rice?
I think we have a general agreement on how to develop student motivation on using English in English classroom. As a teacher, we have to use the modern resources that have been provided to us, be encouraging to our students to use English language, not just in classroom, but also in any social activities, and be updated on all the teaching methods that can help students study. I think that's enough discussion for today. Now I will give it back to my secretary, Mrs. Devi, to close this meeting.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rais, and also all of the teacher that have attended for today's discussion for your all enlightened input. And I will close today's meeting with saying Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. I hope everyone have a good weekend. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam.
warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam
wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi
warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam
wabarakatuh.
warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam.